Greetings. Today is September the 22nd, 2015. The video that you're about to see is one that I recorded a few minutes ago in front of the Lowndes County High School. The same school that I've been banned from for 2 years and 5 months. And as you will see, the local Valdosta Police Department came and said they had received a call that I was in the street blocking traffic. You're gonna see that on this video. I want y'all to know something here in Valdosta and in the state of Georgia. There's something seriously wrong here, y'all. And it's all following the death of Kendrick Johnson. And I want you to know that since I've been under this criminal trespass, Michael Moore of the Justice Department has never contacted me to interview me why members of the Lowndes County Sheriff Department placed me under a criminal trespass in the state of Georgia without justification or notification, and nobody will remove me in writing when I violated no law as a United States retired military veteran, business owner, former president of the Valdosta Lowndes County branch of the NAACP. This is what's going on here. So I respect Kendrick Johnson and Jacqueline for doing what they are doing. They are seeking justice. Too many black folk in the years gone by, they just sat back and did and said nothing. Now, enjoy the video and you'll see where members of law enforcement again came while I was recording. So the sheriff department banned me from any public, high school, graduation, educational board meetings. I can't even go out there to pick up a dead bird that I see fall out the sky. And I violated no law. They have nothing on me. They didn't have the decency. The Lowndes County Sheriff Department, the state of Georgia, and the federal government in the United States of America didn't have the decency to give me something in writing to say we ban you. And after 2 years and 5 months, it is as if though America don't even operate under any laws along the lines of the old Judaism religion. The law, they seem to not respect. We're going to talk about the Dred Scott decision in this video. Get ready, get ready, get ready. This is the Ghetto Free Press. And this is the Valdosta Police Department with Chief Childress. And I must say that those police officers was in rare form. And they was very respectful, except for the fact that they interrupted me while I was recording. Do I not have a right to record without being interrupted by law enforcement when I violate no law? Once again, this is not a reflection on Chief Childress. I have no problem with him. Only problem I have is when our rights are denied and the Valdosta Daily Times or the Department of Justice will not even stand up for citizenship rights. Y'all had better wake up. You're losing your rights, y'all. You're losing your rights. You think it's just me, but soon it's gonna be your children. And then maybe one day you'll say, damn, I should have stood up with that man, because now they got my child. I want to talk to you a little bit about my experiences here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, and in the state of Georgia. I was stationed here in Valdosta in March of 1975. And I stayed here for 4 years. I was stationed at Moody Air Force Base, and I was never placed under a criminal trespass during those 4 years. I went away to Arizona and I returned back here in 1989. other words, I did my second tour here. And in 1991, I retired here. And I had never been placed under a criminal trespass of any kind. While I was here in Valdosta and Lowndes County in the state of Georgia, in September of 1998, when Willie James Williams died from a fall on Lee Street and found dead in the Lowndes County jail. I was one of the people that occupied the stage. I was there when we created and started the People's Tribunal. We protested, we marched, I posted videos, and I wrote on my blog, kvci.blogspot.com, georgebostonrhyme.blogspot.com, gbryans.blogspot.com, and for all those years, I was not placed on a criminal trespass. Well, I even had a business here called New Mind Material and Fashions. I was on radio at WGOV. Then I was moved to another radio station called WJEM, the gospel station. And I had a successful Sunday morning and daily radio broadcast. And I spoke truth to power. I did not back down from the basics of truth that I believed in then and I believed in now. But I was never placed under a criminal trespass of any kind. I violated no law. While I was even the president of the Valdosta Lowndes County branch of the NAACP. But I was never placed under a criminal trespass. It was only after the death of it was only after the death of Kendrick Johnson on May the 23rd, 2013, that I was placed under this criminal trespass. Now, Kendrick Johnson was found dead in January, the 11th to be exact, at Lowndes County High School in the old gymnasium, and is still being investigated in 2015. Now, I was out here with the Kendrick Johnson family, Jacqueline and Kenneth, and the grandfather, Eddie Tooley, and the grandmother, Mother English. We were marching. We were protesting right here. And one sheriff deputy by the name of Deputy Thomas told me, as I got ready to proceed in my vehicle to go to the Lowndes County graduation for 2013. He told me, with witnesses standing all around this area, he said to me, if you go on any part of Lowndes County High School property, you will be arrested. Let me repeat. He said, you will be arrested. Then he got on his radio, he called it in, and I could hear the words of the law enforcement officer here in Valdosta, in Lowndes County, and in the state of Georgia, and in the United States of America say, George Boston Rhines is under a criminal trespass by orders of Lowndes County High School Superintendent Wes Taylor. Wes Taylor. That was transmitted over the radio for the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. Now, I challenge anyone to call me a lie. Call me a lie Deputy Thomas. Call me a lie, Sheriff Prine. Call me a lie, probate judge. Call me a lie, Superior Court judge, District Attorney David Miller, federal court clerks that work in the federal building on the second floor of the post office. Call me a liar. CID, Stride Jones, call me a liar. The Justice Department in Atlanta, Georgia, call me a liar. Eric Holder of the Department of Justice of the federal government, call me a lie and say that I was not put under this criminal trespass over the sheriff deputy radio, and I have it recorded and documented with witnesses that I put on tape at that time, standing right over there. All that is already on these videos, and I may put it on the end of this video. Now, if they can put me under a criminal trespass because I asked for the news media here in Valdosta in South Georgia not to ignore the death of Kendrick Johnson when nobody was really talking about the in-depthness of that case. And so somebody felt it necessary to, I guess, put me under something that is symbolic of the old Dred Scott decision, which said no black man had any rights that a white person had to respect. And so it means nothing that I served my country for 21 years honorably. And if they put me under a criminal trespass, what do you think they would do to your children attending Valdosta State University? What do you think they would do to your white children attending Georgia Military College? What do you think they would do to your mother and father when they take the grandchildren out to Wild Adventures theme park, and when your uncles come and go to Kendaloo Golf Course, the sheriff deputies can pull you over and charge you with criminal trespass for nothing but being a retired, honorably discharged Vietnam-era veteran and the most upright citizen in the United States of America, and charge you with criminal trespass and ban you from all Loudoun County football games, all Loudoun County Board of Education meetings, and not one city, county, state, or federal agency in the United States of America will even remove you or your children or your grandchildren from a bogus criminal trespass that was without justification or notification. Wait a minute, I haven't finished yet. Now, that means that our airmen, Marines, Army, and Navy personnel traveling through Valdosta, and if they are on their way to Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Tajikistan, or Russia, they too can be stopped by a Loudoun County Sheriff deputy and told you are under a criminal trespass for nothing. Wait a minute, haven't finished yet. Then when you go to the Sheriff's Department, an upright body, a constitutional worker, he will tell you, I will get back with you, and he failed to do so. You can go to CID, the Criminal Investigative Department at the Sheriff's Department, and they check the records and say, we have nothing on you. You go to the probate judge, they run your name, they say we have nothing on you. You go to the Superior Court with the district attorney, they say we have nothing on you. Then you go to the federal court, they run your name, they say we have nothing on you. But yet you are under a criminal trespass without justification or notification. Now, if they did this to me, again, they can do this to you, your children, your mother, your father, and CNN with Victor Blackwell will not even address that issue. Al Sharpton of MSNBC, 60 Minutes, 48 Hours, Dateline, the Journal of the Constitution, the Valdosta Daily Times, all TV stations here in South Georgia will not say a damn thing about it. They will not say a damn thing about my constitutional rights, which means they don't give a damn about your constitutional rights or your children's constitutional rights or any member stationed right now at Moody Air Force Base. If the same thing happened to them, the news media in the United States of America will not say a damn thing about it, yet they say they love you, members of our armed forces. So the question is Georgia a state of laws? Is America a nation of laws? They can just stop people, arrest people, and put them in jail, incarcerate them, and then send them to death row for nothing? Get them fired from their jobs for nothing? Don't think it's just me. I have record of other people that have been placed under a criminal trespass here in Valdosta and Lowndes County for little to no reason at all. And some because they don't want them out here on the Lowndes County High School property. Look, I gotta go one step further. Do you not know that since I have been banned and cannot go on any part of Lowndes County High School property, that it should be an infringement on my rights to a degree that the Georgia Attorney General, Sam OLEN'S, Georgia Attorney General Sam OLEN'S should rush. Sam OLEN'S should rush. He should rush to my rescue. Because after all, he was the one. The Georgia Attorney General have produced a red handbook which speaks of citizenship rights, open government, and the sunshine rights. Now, that means that if I have been banned from all Lowndes County High School property for nothing, and yet the Justice Department, unless they lied to me, say they was going to call the Georgia Attorney General and send that information to the Georgia Attorney General because of what Reverend John H. Robinson obtained from Lowndes County School Superintendent Wes Taylor. Now, we have posted what Wes Taylor said on YouTube because it's not a figment of my imagination, nor is it a figment of John Robinson's imagination, but we have his own words. And he said, again, I may put this at the end of this video, but if I don't, it's already out there in cyberspace. Wes Taylor said, I did not ban George Boston Ryan from Lowndes County High School following the death of Kendrick Johnson. Well, if Wes Taylor didn't ban me, who did? Wes Taylor said, and we got it on tape, because Jesus said, and ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall make you free. And that's all I want you to get and have is the truth, because you should love your children truthfully. You should love your grandchildren truthfully. Black, white, Christian, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, Buddhist, or other. And so the truth is, Wes Taylor put it on record that he did not ban me, but his words was that he think the sheriff is working something on me because he found something in my record. Now look, there ain't a damn thing in my record. You can't find nothing in my record. My grandmother taught me better than that. My grandmother taught me how to survive in the white man's world. She told me and my brother that when we see a white woman walking on the left side of the street, we go to the right. If you see a white woman go in a house, you come out the house. If you see a white woman go upstairs, you go in the basement. If you see her go in the basement, then you go up in the attic. She taught us not to feel inferior, but she taught us how to survive based upon what had happened to black men here in South Georgia for nothing, and no justice would be received by members of law enforcement, because too often it was law enforcement that was involved in the murders and suppression and impediments placed before black Americans. And so, Wes Taylor said he didn't do it. We have this documented, and I must thank Reverend John Robinson, because John Robinson did not punk out under pressure. John Robinson did what any righteous person who wants to get into the kingdom of the hereafter would do. He stood up for what was right. Some of my civil rights leaders told me, just go on the property and ignore it and make them arrest you. Well, that would be a nice thing if you was a criminal. But I'm not a criminal. And I should not have to do that just to get arrested, to get a lawyer, to prove myself in court. They say, get a lawyer. Well, I want to say to the people in Russia and China and North Korea, why should I have to get an attorney? Look, when I enlisted in the United States Armed Forces during the Vietnam era, I did not have to get an attorney to put my life or be willing to put my life on the line in the defense of this country from both foreign and domestic enemies. Hell, I didn't have to get an attorney. So why should I have to get an attorney? It'd have been a different thing if I was going up against the wicked, but I'm supposed to be going up against the people that's required by the Constitution to uphold the law. So why should I have to get an attorney to go up against those people who are empowered with protecting us? That was the Lowndes County Sheriff car just went by. I want you to know that my grandmother told me about the week of terror in Brooks County and Lowndes County back in 1918, when 13 to 25 blacks were murdered outright, and law enforcement was involved in some of those murders by white mob members. So my grandmother knew all about this, yet at the same time she knew that she couldn't talk about it. There are people right here today that I've interviewed about the May Returner lynchings that you have seen on her link, the May Returner deaths. But nobody really want to talk about that much. If you remember, Channel 6 did a 3 or 4 minute review of the May Returner lynching in that week of terror. I'm the one that took the reporter to all these locations. He had me on the introductory part of that news video. But for the most part, he went to my beautiful brother, Brother Rose, and another brother who gave the beef of that interview. But I am the one that took him to all that historic information. I even took him to Quitman, to the Talibou, which is the old Brooks County Sheriff, jail, county jail. I'm the one that took him there. I'm the one that took him to Folsom Bridge. I am the one that took him to the old campground, which was the backbone of where they used to lynch black people, and nothing would be done about it by law enforcement or the governor of the state of Georgia. I even mentioned to him about Nigger Branch in Quitman that they later changed the name a few years ago to Pride Branch. And how can you get from Nigger Branch to Pride Branch? I can't figure that one out. Then I took Channel 6 news reporter over by to the Martin Luther King Monument, took him up near Ralph Harrington Funeral Home and showed him the area wherein Sidney Johnson had a shootout with the chief of police in Valdosta. He was killed because he said he would not be taken alive. All this information I have made known. Is this why they put me under criminal trespass without justification or notification? And no government agency, no law enforcement agency in the United States of America will remove me from this criminal trespass. Now, I know some of the civil rights leaders tell me, just go on the campus and they're not going to arrest you. Don't even worry about it. Since they didn't, oh, that's right, I've got to tell you, they didn't put nothing in writing. No, they didn't put nothing in writing. You see, they thought, I guess, I was going to be another scared to death Negro, I guess. When I served in the armed forces, if I was a scared to death Negro, I would never be willing to go fight and die for this country. But when it come back home to the land of the free, the home of the brave, then they want me to be a scared to death Negro. But when you put the uniform on to go fight people who have never done nothing to you, never denied your parents the rights to be a human being, never relegated you to be 3/5 of a human being, never denied you the right to own property, never owned you the right to assemble in groups of more than 3 people unless a white man was present. They never denied me the right, the freedom of worship unless a white man was there. But yet we were willing to go die in foreign nations of the world, but we are not willing to stand up for your children's rights here in the United States of America. So I refuse to be a punk-out Negro because those days are long gone. And when I look at these young people now want to join the new Black Panther Party because the federal government won't hear their cries here in the state of Georgia. The law enforcement, the judicial system will not hear their cries. The newspaper, the television, and the radio stations will not report their stories. They don't have nobody on their side. And so now you are wondering why the young people are saying no justice, no peace. They are saying I have nothing to live for, but everything to die for. This is the mentality in the young black people of this country. They don't believe that white America will ever be fair to them by listening to the stories of what their mothers and their fathers and their grandparents and great-grandparents have told them about this nation. The history of this nation speaks for itself. The first person to die in the Revolutionary War was a man by the name of Trespass. Trespass was a black man. We fought in every war of this nation. History cannot refute that historical and momentous fact. And yet, we see the re-emergence of the old Jim Crow laws and the mentality of the 1857 Dred Scott decision, which said that no black man had any rights that a white man had to respect. This is why this is why many of the newly elected black mayors in the state of Georgia are being fought against, removed from office, lied on by city attorneys, by local newspaper editors, and others, by some black Uncle Tom Negroes who sit right on the council with these black leaders who only want to account for the taxpayers' dollars. But we have sick to death Negroes sitting right there among them, fighting against what Jesus Christ gave his life for, that we would stand up so people could breathe, as recorded in St. Luke 4:18. We know them, but if you notice, we don't strike out at them. We don't strike out at them because we have always had Judases among us. We have always had Uncle Toms and Aunt James. And God have always dealt with them. And all of them he didn't deal with, they're going to find a stumbling block between them and the cross of Calvary in the hereafter. So you don't have to fight them. You don't have to strike out at them like they strike out at you and me and others. Have you noticed in Valdosta, in Lowndes County, have you noticed how black preachers, all the way up to the bishops, Have you noticed that they won't say a damn thing about what troubles our young people the most, except in their pulpit and in the safety zone of their four walls of a material structure? Have you noticed that? And so somebody got to tell the truth. And so now I don't dislike Sheriff Prime and other law enforcement agencies in the United States of America. I want to commend them. Yes, I want to commend them for taking an honest military veteran, such as myself, George Boston Rhymes, to allow God to show the world what a real democracy looked like. And so I want you to understand, government of America, you're not in control of this. God is in control of this. I don't blame you for allowing God to use you to get his point across. God wants all of our black children to understand that there is no justice here in America for the black man, even if they serve this country, make it through wars and not be killed on battlefields, and then get back home, he still does not have any rights that a white man has to respect. So God wants the world to see, God wants the good white people to see what they will do to a black man. And look, I'm not the only one. I will say again, if you want to call me Victor Blackwell and call me and see if I'm lying, please do so. 60 minutes, 48 hours, anybody. President Barack Obama, if you want to check out what I'm saying to see if I'm right, when I say to you that in 15 cities, including some counties, wherein voter suppression is so bad until blacks have said they would never ever vote again because of what Governor Nathan Deal, Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp, and others have done to them. They would never ever vote again in the United States of America. And Eric Holder, let me repeat, and Eric Holder of the Department of Justice sat and did nothing. He didn't do anything. Look, now, I count myself blessed to be able to go through this and suffer like the other people, like the Quitman 10+2, that the state of Georgia filed 119 charges against these black African Americans, and nothing did they do wrong. And those charges was finally dropped after they tried one of the Quitman 10, Lula Smart, 3 times. Her first case ended up in a mistrial. Her second case of the same charges was a mistrial. And the third trial, they dropped all 20 to 30 charges, and they eventually cleared all 12 of them after 4 years of putting their lives on hold. And one, Miss Latasha Head, she died. And I have talked to her father. She had lupus. And now we are discussing if that pressure did not contribute to her untimely death. Why, look, in Gordon, what they are putting Marianne, please Google Marianne Whippaloo in Gordon. Please Google Mayor Marianne Whippaloo in Gordon, Georgia. Her husband, Basil Lou, from the islands, Jamaica, fell dead at the Gordon City Hall because of what they have done to that black woman through EEOC complaint, and have paid money out after money, and they keep paying money out. One woman got $45,000, the editor of the Lake Park Post, for causing disruptions at the public meetings in Georgia. All this has been documented. But they don't want you to know this, so they won't publish this in the newspaper. The TV station in the Middle District of Georgia, they turned their head on the beef of what's going on at this meeting and in this little small town. They won't report it. And look, you don't have to take my word for it. All you have to do is ask the black people in the street and the white people who are willing to tell the truth, not those who are in the clique and among the slicks and on their way to the unknown. Don't ask them. but ask the righteous people who want to see a progressive city there in Gordon. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The finance chair of Gordon, Georgia, he too died. We believe he too died from the stress that they brought upon them. GMA haven't said nothing. No Georgia elected official have said nothing to stop the confusion in that city or all these other cities where newly elected mayors are. And so when they put me under a 2-year and 5 months criminal trespass, I just want y'all to know that I'm in good company. Not in Afghanistan, not in Pakistan, not in Iran or North Korea, but right here in the United States of America. Now look, if they did this to me, and they did, they also can do this to you, your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and coming generations. Unless somebody is willing to stand up for what is right. Now look, they criticize the Honorable Kendrick Johnson and Jacqueline for simply asking a question. Why could we not view the remains of our son? Why and who removed his organs and they can't be accounted for? Where is our child's clothes that we purchased for them? How could it be that information...
Hey, sir, can I stop you for a second?
Just a minute. Now,
okay, how long are you going to take? Because I can't be here all day.
Now, right now, I'm fit. Here's the Lowndes County Sheriff Department, the very people I'm talking about.
No, I'm Valdosta Police Department.
The Valdosta Police Department.
Okay, I just need you for 30 seconds.
And what I want to do, I'm going to turn off the video because I want to listen to them. Now, yes, sir, what do you want?
Okay, I just want, we got a call about you out in traffic, and we didn't see you in traffic, but we just came here to ask if you were stepping out. And if you were, we're not saying you were, but if you were, please stay on the sidewalk. We're just getting calls about it. So we're coming out here just to make sure you are okay and everything's okay, all right? Is that good?
That's perfect. Will you please tell Chief Childress that I appreciate him responding to the citizens of this community?
Yes, sir.
I think that's the best thing that can be done. I think that's what needs to be done. I wish somebody would respond to me being under a 2-year, 5 months criminal trespass and banned from Lowndes County High School without violating any law. And if that had not happened to me, I would not be standing here on public property, not in the street. And I want you to know, and I want the person that called in, that they gave you their name, tell them that they are a liar and the truth is not in them. For I am an upright, retired military veteran that served my country. Officer
King
and Newton.
Yes, sir.
And be sure to pass this on to Chief Childress and tell him I appreciate him doing what we are paying them to do.
Feel free to do your thing. Just please try to watch traffic and all that stuff, okay?
I've been doing this since 75. Okay. Take care of yourself. Come on, my beautiful brother. Shake my hand. I ain't got nothing wrong. Y'all good people. And we got a lot of people that... Look, this is what it's on. Y'all can go ahead and thank you very much. Okay. Appreciate you, man. I want you all to say something. Look, let me say this to you all. You know, this is what happened. You know, everybody got something to say about people when they try to do what is right. I have not violated any law. Yet somebody gonna say I'm out here in traffic. Isn't that something? Liars. They apparently are of their father, the devil, the wicked one. But all I want to say to you is that I love them. I know why they're doing what they're doing. And sooner or later, you're going to see it clearer than what you've ever seen it. Because I made sure that I understood what Deputy Thomas said to me. He said to me, if I go as far as about 50 feet and make a turn into those, I would be arrested. And that's why I'm out here on public property. This is a public sidewalk. This is the sidewalk. That's where I am. But because of these patriots here in Valdosta and the righteous people, they are going to say to me or to the city police that I'm in the street. Now look, do I look that silly? If I have gone all this time by being under a criminal trespass And I never got violent. I have never even just outrightly called Eric Holder when I say that. I never called Governor, I say that. I never call Attorney General, I never call that. And there are people who often honk at me because they know what I'm doing. But I'm not going away. And so you come on and do what you gotta do because my children and grandchildren is gonna take it up. Although no law enforcement office care enough about my rights or your rights to say, look, not even the newspaper. Don't you think the newspaper should be concerned about this for the simple fact that they're supposed to be concerned about reporting the news? And when I went to them, do you know that Kay Harris of the Valdosta Daily Times was not even interested in this story? I went to Channel 6, I went to Channel 10, I went to Channel 27, I went to all those stations. And do you not know that they wouldn't even say boo? Y'all better wake up. Today is the black man, but sooner or later, it's gonna be about every man in the land. You understand what I'm saying? And so I love doing this because I know that in the end, we are going to show the entire world what a real democracy look like. Don't you know that when we marched in the streets in the 40s, the 50s, and 60s, that we were making America look better in the eyes of the world in terms of what the founding fathers wrote in the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights, that all men were created equal? You can't say you believe that, and you got millions of slaves here in the land of the free and the home of the brave. So God allowed the black man to help America save herself from herself before she destroyed herself. And so I come as a beacon of hope. I come to help America, to show the world that you should not let a man serve in the United States Armed Forces in the wars defending your nation, and then when he come back home, you tell him he's under criminal trespass without justification or notification. And then when you tell them or you say to the sheriff department, put it in writing and remove me from this so we can end this once and for all, they would not do it. And they refused to do it. Now, what they did do, and what the Lowndes County High School superintendent did do, I'm gonna give them credit where credit is due. They did tell me that they didn't have nothing on me. Let me say it again. See, I want the whole truth, not the half truth. And I want somebody to run and tell that, since somebody's gonna tell I'm out here in the streets interfering with traffic, you understand? But it's all about the death of KJ. As I laid out first, when I was stationed here in 1975, they never put me under a criminal trespass. It was only after the death of Kendrick Johnson that they put me under this criminal trespass. Only then. And look, I was at this as I close. The father called me the night his son was found dead. They didn't call the NAACP, the SCLC president. They called George Boston Ryan because they know I would report what others ignore. And so when they called me and I went to his house the same night, then I walked the streets with the private investigators all down Weisenbaker Lane, over on Oak Street, all down West Street. I walked with the investigators, and I haven't talked about that much because I'm waiting on the God of the universe to do his thing. And look, don't think that that's just KJ. There's so many black souls that's crying out from the swamps and the bridges of South Georgia until God gonna have to deal with that in the day of judgment. And we cannot get justice for all those black lives. It's gonna take God Almighty to render justice and fulfill Galatians 6 and 7, wherein he said it through his white European spokesperson, Apostle Paul. Galatians 6 and 7, for God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man sow, that shall he also reap. And so I'm going to continue to say to America, you will either treat us with respect, or I will assure you that God will render justice to you. You can run America. You can run Valdosta and Lowndes County. You can send people out here to try to cause disturbances for George Boston Ryan. But this is much bigger than George Boston Ryan's. I was born into the world to die. I cannot reach my next level until all the work that he has assigned to my hand is complete. And then when my work is complete, there will be another one that come after me He will be more intelligent than I am. He will be smarter than I am. He will be more articulate than I am. He will be better looking than I am. And it might be a woman, but they are going to continue. They're going to pick up where I leave off at, because God has ordained that heaven and earth would pass away, but my word will stand forever. And David said what God said, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. I know what I'm doing. I know the mission that I own, and I know who sent me to do what I'm doing. And so I'm not going to quit. Because this is bigger than me. It's bigger than my children. It's bigger than my grandchildren. The crust of the earth shall rise again. You can't stop that. As it is written, so shall it be done. In all things, acknowledge him. For God so loved the world that he gave. And we too must give. We must give so others can live. All law enforcement here in Valdosta and Lowndes County, all law enforcement in the state of Georgia, all law enforcement at the federal level, Eric Holder, Miss Lynch, y'all got my videos. You know that I have done nothing wrong. Yet, Sheriff Prine got me under a 2-year, 5-month criminal trespass, and I haven't done a damn thing but reported on Kendrick Johnson's death, and now Michael Moore has it. But if he don't do nothing with it, I want you to know that God got it. And when God get a grip on you, you will know that you've been gripped by the real grip of a lion's claw. And the real grip of the lion's claw, it don't let you loose. When you get into hell, you will acknowledge that I've done wrong and I refuse to repent to make right that which I made crooked. This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boss the Rhyme. Stand firm. And I'm saying that if you want to come on and accuse me of blocking the traffic, now you know why Kendrick Johnson stand up like he's standing. Now you know why Jacqueline is standing up like they're standing, because as they lied on me and put me on the criminal trespass, the same way they lied on Kendrick Johnson, and the same way they're saying what they're saying about the President of the United States of America. But in the end, truth, right, and justice will win. Once again, the Ghetto Free Press, we report what others ignore. So we're going to be back again, and there are going to be more people come out with some new lies. And I'm not going to be angry with them, because when they do that, they are only doing what God permits them to do. And you must understand. You must understand. And this is my last point. Don't forget that when Pharaoh enslaved the children of that day, and he called the religious leader by the name of Moses, he told Moses to go and tell the president of that day, Pharaoh, tell him to let my people go. Moses obeyed. But when he went back to God, God told Moses again, not you, I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh. Do you get it? He said, I'm going to harden the heart of Pharaoh. So I'm not looking for people to make things easy for me. I know they're going to make it harder for me, because that's what they're supposed to do. But as it was with the president of that day, Pharaoh, the wicked one, in the end, truth gonna win. And this is why, come on. But I just want to be on the God side of my ancestors. I want to be on the God side of the good of Malcolm X, the good side of Elijah Muhammad, the good side of the white European Master Farad Muhammad, who taught that Muslim Elijah Muhammad everything that he knew. Elijah Muhammad walked with that white European called Master Farad Muhammad for 3 years. And that's how Elijah Muhammad got the knowledge that he got. He got it from the white man called Master Farad Muhammad. You don't want to talk about the white European that taught that black man the history of himself, who was passed down to Elijah Muhammad, and from Elijah Muhammad to Louis Farrakhan, to Wallace Uddin Muhammad, and to all others in the West, because there are good white people who want truth, and more than anything, they too want to enter into the kingdom of the living God, not to the kingdom of death, hell, and destruction, to whom no traveler return. And down in that part of the realm of things, some people are preparing themselves to join in the underworld, in their hereafter. But as it is written, for God is not mocked, for whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also. You have a nice day. This is George Foster. I am standing in front of Lowndes County High School. I cannot go to any football game. I cannot go to any Board of Education meeting. I've been banned for 2 years and 5 months after the death of Kendrick Johnson, and I'm going to continue to talk about it until somebody in the United States of America see a need that this military, retired military veteran with over 21 years in the United States Armed Forces, until somebody say to me and those active duty members I left behind that
where did all the love go? Somebody tell me where did it go?
Who killed KJ? Come on. Who killed KJ? Who killed KJ? Thank you.
Today makes 11 months my son was found at Lowndes High School, rolled up in a mat. I was at that school the day they found my son. They treated us like nobody from day one. They're still treating us like nobody. But we declare that we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. They want us to leave, and when we leave, it's going to be when they give us justice for my son.
Amen.
We want to thank everyone for coming out and supporting our family. But I want to know, they are known to use us and tear down our character. But Kendrick, that they can't do.
Amen.
Kendrick was at school where he was supposed to be.
Amen.
And out of 3,000 students, plus teachers, plus a school with resource officers at the school.
Yes.
How in the world can a student go missing during school and be murdered at school?
My.
As you all know, his organs was missing. But let me tell you a little bit about that. It's from the top of his head to his pelvis was missing. Yeah, the brain, his windpipe, his tongue, his heart, and everything else inside of his body was missing.
My Lord.
So I want the justice system to tell me, how is it that all of that is going on with his body, someone is not charged with something?
Amen. Yeah.
It can't be.
My God. Cannot be.
You mean to tell me, from the time he was last seen on that surveillance camera, within 15 or 20 minutes, he gonna cut off all of his fingernails till they start to bleed. He gonna scroll his photos around the gym. He gonna throw the shoe over inside the mat and say, I think I'll go over there and get it now. So how does one shoe inside the mat and the other one's away from the mat? And then he gets inside the mat, gets stuck, and then I guess the pair of shoes that he had on his feet, he kicks them off.
Makes no sense.
How can that be?
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
And other than that, the clothes that he had, what he dressed out in, how's the data missing? from the clothes he had on, from where they took him to make him to the crime lab, how come that they are missing? So out of all this stuff that's going on, why isn't someone arrested for something?
Amen. How long?
So is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Thank you.
KJ! Who killed KJ? Come on! Who killed KJ? Who killed KJ?
Thank you.
Today makes 11 months my son was found at Lowndes High School, rolled up in a mat. I was at that school the day they found my son. They treated us like nobody from day one. They're still treating us like nobody. But we declare that we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. They want us to leave, and when we leave, it's gonna be when they give us justice for my son.
Amen.
We want to thank everyone for coming out, supporting our family. But
This is kvci.blogspot.com.
Okay. So, well, no, you know me, man. I'm a vibe, but I'll do that.
If you go in this area, you will get arrested, okay?
Okay, what can I try?
You need to stay right here.
Okay, they got a public meeting down here, so you're telling me I can't go to the public meeting?
I do not know anything.
I got you, but there's a public meeting.
All I'm saying is,
I'm not going.
I've been told.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that there's a public meeting down here, so you all telling me that I cannot go to a public meeting.
And I'm glad to hear that, because you know what? But us the Daily Times ain't gonna report this story. You know why? Because us the Daily Times are tied in. Huh? No, they're not gonna report this.
How long?
so is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Because it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something. Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
I'm a minister at the First Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, and my grandchildren attend school out there.
Yes, sir.
And there were some things that I was kind of concerned about, because I had asked a gentleman by the name of George Boston Ryan to come in and video my granddaughter's graduation, and he was stopped and said he wasn't allowed to come on the premises, and we was trying to find out what had he done that he couldn't come out there.
He was stopped by who?
By the sheriff department. Said that he was giving orders by you guys that he wasn't allowed on the premises.
Okay. I think that may be something you'd have to take up with the sheriff's department.
Okay. So you guys, it's okay if he come out to the premises if something come up?
No, sir. What I'm saying is I believe that there was, and I don't know what they called it, some sort of order based on something that happened in the past, that I believe that there's something in place. And again, I think either he would need to discuss that with you or possibly the sheriff's department.
Oh, okay.
So I do believe there's something in place. I don't want to tell you something that's not right.
Right.
But I do believe that is accurate.
Right. Well, all right. Well, I tell you what, can you set an appointed time that I can come in and sit down with you?
Yes, sir. I would be glad to.
What about tomorrow sometime? What would be a good time?
I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Hold on just a minute. Let me turn this calendar around.
All right.
Can you see your calendar?
No, I'm not at the present time.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Is there a particular day of the week that's better for you?
What about today? What about Friday morning?
Well, we're closed the rest of this week. That's what I was calling.
Okay.
This is part of the time when...
Well, what about Monday of next week?
All right. Let me open this thing up. Monday is June the 3rd.
Yes, sir.
I've got on Monday and Tuesday of next week, I'm meeting with we have 12 schools. I'm meeting with all of our principals on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
I've already got all of them scheduled.
Well, I'm scheduled to go to Atlanta. I got to be in Atlanta on Wednesday and the rest of that week, so I can't make that one.
All right, well, hold on just a minute. I'm just flipping over the next week, which is Monday the 10th.
Okay.
I've got a principals meeting that day. Hold on, we'll get us a day. Hold on just a minute. Let me turn this thing over. That Thursday morning, which is the 13th, and I know you may not know off the top of your head, but that may be a possibility we could shoot for.
Okay. Well, you busy the rest of the day?
Is that on the 13th on that Thursday?
Well, yeah, but what about today?
I've got somebody scheduled at 3 and then somebody after that.
All right, well, we just make it for that time then, and we'll see what we can do, and I'll give you a call back, or we'll get back in touch.
All right, so you want to set a time on that morning, or you want to just wait and call me back? Whatever works for you.
I'll just call you back.
Okay, all right, that'll be fine, and we'll get a time that'll work for both of us, and I'll be glad to.
All right, well, as of you know right now, there's nothing that you guys have done to say that George Ryans can't come on the school campus.
I think there is something in place through the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Yes, I do think there is, but
all right.
I prefer that he either talk to you about that or the sheriff's department. I don't want to tell you something that's not right.
Okay, all right. Well, that'll work then. All right.
Okay.
All right, well, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.
This is the Ghetto Free Press, and I'm George Boston Ryans, and I just received the breaking news.
The witnesses lied on the stand.
Yes.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation lied on the stand.
That's right.
Falsified documents.
That's right. Yes.
The Secretary of State lied on the stand.
Yes.
Boone from the post office, who started this whole mess, lied on the stand.
Yes.
All to try to make these citizens look guilty.
Is it the whole system in together? Cause it ain't no way in the world that y'all don't see something.